So I wanted to take a moment to talk about fear. It's crippling effects and also its beneficial effects. I'm of the opinion that you should do the things that you're most afraid of, because in that is where liberation exists. Getting out of your comfort zone is so important, and facing your fears is very important. All of the things that scare the shit out of you are the things that you should be doing. And that's easier said than done. I mean, it's an everyday process. It's constant. It's always a process. But I mean, you remember like when you were a kid and your parents would have that one particular face and you knew you were in trouble. And you knew you were either getting a spanking or you were going in the corner or you were grounded or whatever. And what's funny is as you grow up, now that I'm older, I see those same faces on the street, and and that'll trigger the shit out of people. It's not so bad anymore, but it used to be. And I would see people and they would give me this look, and I instantly didn't like them. And then I would realize later on that, oh my God, that was the same. It was the same face my mom gave me, or same face my dad gave me growing up, and I knew I was in trouble. Well, those are all opinions. You know, they had some opinion about you. Because I mean, all right, let's take it down a little bit and talk about why people get angry with people. How many people have you talked to and had to repeat the same thing over and over again, like 5 or 6 times before they went, "Oh, that's what you're talking about"? Because we hear what we want to hear. And most of us are in a place where we're waiting to respond. We're not even listening. We're getting little key words out of it. We're speed reading through this lecture you're giving us, and we're not even listening to the conversation. And in that, man, is such a profound thing. If we could stop and really listen to people, especially when they're asking for our opinion or for our help, you know, most of the time they're answering their own question. And there's a beauty in that, because we are our own gurus. You don't need to go to some fancy ashram. You don't need to go to a monastery. You don't need to sit out in a cave in the Himalayas, and you don't need to go walk the forest. Those things are beneficial, but it's not necessary. You already have the goddamn answers. You just got to be quiet enough and listen to yourself to hear what you need to do. So with fear, I suggest the things that scare you the most are the things that you really need to do to benefit yourself the most. If you can take a step back from your day-to-day grind and really look at what terrifies you, it's probably the thing that you need to be doing. Fear is the lowest vibration on the pole. From fear comes hate and awkwardness and shyness, and most suffering is fear-based. Fear of your family, you know, one of your family members dying, fear of your pet dying, fear of losing your home, fear of losing your car, fear that your political party isn't going to win the next election. That's a big fear too, right? But nothing in this world happens without source. There's nothing outside of source. So that means everything is happening exactly the way it needs to happen for a reason. And we can blame, you know, the devil. And I just want to be clear, I don't believe in the devil. I believe in devilish acts. I believe that we can be quite shitty sometimes, especially to one another, especially to ourselves. But it's the polar opposite of the things that we're feeling that are the most beneficial. So if you're afraid all the time, maybe try to be kind more. Unmerited kindness. Passing people on the street and saying, hey, those are some really nice shoes. Make it a joke if you have to. Add some levity to it. But say it, and then give them a look. Give them a glance that makes them understand that you're being serious, that you really like those shoes. Those are really cool. You look good today. Good on you. I love your artwork. I love the way you write. I love how you talk. Being kind to people trumps all of that fear-based nonsense. And then the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and then it's no longer a fear. So if you're afraid of talking in public, that's probably what you need to go do. Maybe write some poetry and do a poetry jam or a rap or join a band. Anything to get over who you think you are. The things that scare you are usually stemmed from early childhood issues. Things that were driven into you to be afraid of. You should be afraid of this. People might laugh at you. Who cares? I mean, I've been laughed at a lot. Sometimes it was necessary. But now I can look back at a lot of that stuff and laugh at myself too, because I wasn't being authentic. Authenticity, man, is the key to success in life. Not success monetarily or with your material possessions, because that's all nonsense. It's the key to, I hate to sound corny, but the salvation of the soul is authenticity. Being real, being direct, and being straight, and not trying to get something out of something. Yeah, instead of, using all of the nonsensical pickup lines with a girl, just be straight with her. Say, hey, this is the stuff I'm looking for, and if you're not looking for this stuff, I don't want anything. We should probably just cut this off right now. I want somebody that's open and honest and is willing to do the things that need to be done in a relationship, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. It's the authenticity of it. It's being real with it. It's looking at the things that you do in your life and taking a step back, looking outside of yourself. Like, I heard a really great thing from this person about when you're in an argument with your spouse, while you're arguing, take yourself out of that and look at it as a third person and go, what am I doing that's causing them this type of grief to where they're reacting to me in a way that I don't understand? And maybe it's something you're saying, because there's been studies that have been done. We don't really hear each other. We're just angry or afraid or lonely or, whatever, you turned on and nobody's reciprocating. So we take it out on our spouses. And so instead of hearing them, we're just venting. And venting is great. It gets the juices flowing, gets the stuff out. But if you're not venting with purpose, then it's a pointless vent, because you're not actually able to hear the other person. So, like, one of the best pieces of marriage advice I've ever gotten is that you should record your arguments. Like, hey, wait a minute, you want to yell at me for a minute? Cool, let's record this. And then in a few days, when we've calmed down, let's listen back to it and see what we're doing wrong. Because it's never one person. It's a little bit of both. I mean, unless you're married to a narcissist or a sociopath or something like that, then you're just never going to go anywhere. But if it's just a normal everyday person, you can look back at the recording and go, oh, okay, I triggered them right there, and I did it on purpose. I was being a shithead. So those are fears too. Like, we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to take credit for our wrongness. We want to always be right. We want to always be correct. And the ego loves that. It loves hearing you stammer just so you can utilize it rather than your heart. So yeah, do the things that are hard. Do the things that are difficult. Do the things you're afraid of. Record your conversations with people. If you're having issues, look at them deeply and look what you're doing to cause those issues. Because it takes two, and we're always reflecting. We're always reflecting. We're reflecting ourselves on other people, and we're trying to get a reflection of them back on us. And I've noticed in my life, people will just not like you for the sake of just not liking you. And what it is they just don't like something about you. You're doing something that they wish they could do, and they can't, so they're going to take it out on you because you are doing that thing. And they don't see it as bravery. They mock it, make fun of it. And it's a way to boost the ego. Like, yeah, I couldn't do that thing. I couldn't wear pink socks to school because I would have got made fun of. Why is this guy wearing pink socks? What makes him so special? Maybe he just likes pink socks. Who cares? But people will take that very personally if they themselves wanted to do that thing that you're brave enough to do. So you got to shrug a lot of that stuff off, and the more aware you are of who you are, and if you're being authentic and you're being vulnerable in all moments, it makes it easier to shrug that stuff off because you go, I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't react, I responded. I know I responded. Then you're on your way, but you can't expect everybody else to be in that vibration on that level. So I would have to say one of the very most important things in life is to do the things that scare the shit out of you. Especially if they're inward based, because everything's on the inside, nothing's outside. Nothing's a projection besides what people put on you that solidify their own opinions of themselves. So all the work is on the inside. So if it scares you, that's your cue to look at it and reflect a little bit. Anyhow, hope this helped. If it did, leave me a comment, and I will get back. Thank you.